Welcome, football fans, to a very special episode of Whammy Sports. I'm Justin Boomer Sabata.
And I'm Juan the Manimal Maldonado. And this episode, we'll discuss and predict the best bowl games of 2014 and 2015.
Let's get this show rolling. Whammy starts
now. Bearcats. All right, let's begin with the Military Bowl. Between the Cincinnati Bearcats and the Virginia Tech Hokies. Let's face it, the Hokies are struggling to find their identity. But how do you think they could be able to defeat the 9-3 Cats?
To be honest, I don't think they'll be able to. Virginia Tech, for the past 2 years, has just been struggling to find their identity. Even with Logan Thomas, they struggled, especially offensively. Defensively, they're not bad. Not bad. I mean, they had some pretty good showings against Florida State and especially Virginia. But against a team like Cincinnati, who's always been kind of a stingy American Athletic Conference team, they're 9-3. They're playing well. Their uniforms are awesome. But I really think Virginia Tech just will continue to struggle.
Give it to the uniforms. Let's shift to the Hyundai Sun Bowl between the Sun Devils of Arizona State and the Blue Devils of Duke. The ASU quarterback situation is still up for grabs. And with facing a stingy Duke team, could that actually be a reason why Arizona State loses this game?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Taylor Kelly really started the season. He was in the Heisman race for about a week until he struggled against really a Pac-12 defense in Stanford. And, you play a team like Duke. Duke is fast. They've even gave Florida State struggles. And honestly, with a quarterback controversy like that, you never win games. A lot of people think, you kind of switch this up a little bit, make the defense look at a different face. No. It's actually harder for your offense. And really, that's why I think Arizona State will lose this one and actually probably lose big.
Any predictions?
I'd probably say the final score being 41-27.
To all you Duck Dynasty fans out there, the first annual Duck Command Your Independence Bowl will take place with South Carolina battling Miami. For both teams, it's been an excruciatingly frustrating season. Do you think that frustration will show in this ball game?
Absolutely. South Carolina, I think, will win this game because they are just a tough, 3 yards in a cloud of dust type of SEC team. And Miami really still struggling. I mean, lost that heartbreaker to Florida State in the middle of the season, haven't quite gotten back to their true form. And South Carolina, I mean, they're an SEC team, 6-6 SEC team. They've played the teams, and I think they'll win this one. It'll be close and low scoring, probably a 16-10 victory for South Carolina.
16-10. And here's a game I know you're looking forward to. The New Era Pinstripe Bowl between the Penn State and Boston College. The two very old school types of teams, and of course, Penn State being in a bowl for the first time in 3 years following the Sandusky scandal. The game will surely be a low scoring, but will anyone be able to even score a touchdown?
This is a type of game that if you love defense, tune in. But if you love offense, after the first kickoff, just tune right out. Because, I think Boston College might just score one touchdown, and that might be the only score of the entire game. Penn State, of course, with Christian Hackenberg struggling, has thrown about 2,600 yards, 8 touchdowns, but 15 interceptions. It's not exactly what you want from your quarterback. And with Boston College, an efficient offense, not exactly an Oregon type of offense, but they are a pro-style offense and a stubborn defense. And I think final score will be 13-0. With Boston College winning. At least Penn State's in a bowl game.
At least they're in a bowl game. Already a good lineup of games, and we're just getting started. When we come back, we'll see if Boomer will be able to handle the rapid-fire questions. Don't touch that remote. The Whammy Bowl Selection Show will return after this.
Buy my fruits.
Buy my fruits. And welcome back. Now we'll ask Boomer who he thinks will win and why. Except faster. All right, Nebraska versus USC.
Oh, it'll be USC. Nebraska, after Wisconsin, they're just not the same team. Bo Pelini will be gone off to Youngstown State. Don't know why. Maybe he just can't handle the pressure anymore. But yeah, definitely USC.
Under pressure. Texas A&M and West Virginia in the Liberty Bowl.
This one's interesting. West Virginia's 7-5, but they're a good 7-5, if that makes any sense. But West Virginia in a blowout, 44-14.
44-14. We'll give more time to this one. Oklahoma versus the Clemson Tigers in the Russell Athletic Bowl.
I don't like talking about this bowl game because Oklahoma, by many critics, they were predicted to be in the college football playoff and even win the national championship. They're 8-4 now, heading to a bowl game that I didn't hear of except last year, and they're going up against a Clemson team that is not with their star quarterback. Deshaun Watson's out. Oklahoma seems to be looking good. Knight's back. Pirine might be able to come back. He suffered a high ankle sprain against Oklahoma State in the last week of the season, but really, if Oklahoma just stays to their form, plays the way that they need to play, really, I think they should win this one.
Yay. Go Tigers. Yay. Party at Justin's house. How about the Texas Bowl between Arkansas and the Texas Longhorns?
I hate Texas. I'll be honest with you. I hate Texas so much, but I honestly think they'll win this one. Arkansas they're just not a very pretty football team. Their offense is just kind of lackadaisical. They have a good running back, though, and he's only a sophomore, but really, they just can't score points, and that's what it really boils down to. Texas they can score points. They proved it against Oklahoma. They're able to put points on the board. That's why I think they'll be able to win this one. But again, I don't like Texas.
Go Texas! Horns down, ladies and gentlemen. Who takes the Music City Bowl, Notre Dame or LSU?
Now, really, Notre Dame, just a sob story of college football. They were 7-1, and then lost 4 straight games at the end of the season. Really just not the season, of course, that they were really thinking about. Everett Golson comes back. They think, national championship again. But no, it's really not the case. But LSU, horrible offense, worst in the SEC. Notre Dame will take this one.
Predictions?
I'd probably say 27-20. It'll be a close one.
All right. And the last one before break is the Georgia Bulldogs against Louisville in the Belk Bowl.
Georgia, even without Todd Gurley, their run game is strong. They have Nick Chubb, probably the funniest name in college football. But, I think Georgia will be able to win this one. Louisville's just an American Athletic Conference team. Haven't quite played as powerful of a team as Georgia. With Georgia's run game, they'll win this one easily. I'd probably say 38-27.
Close game. Phew, that was fun. When we come back, it's time for the big ones. College football playoff predictions coming up next. And we're back. We'll get to the big bowl games in a minute. But first, let's talk about the Alamo Bowl between the K-State Wildcats and the UCLA Bruins. That's right, UCLA. K-State is actually favored in this game, but some of the critics will still believe UCLA will take it. Do you think the K-State will use this as motivation?
They always have. Since Bill Snyder was there, they've always used the type of underdog type of thing to their advantage. And really, UCLA's in for a surprise. K-State beat Oklahoma in Norman. I don't know if that's really that impressive as it used to be, but UCLA they've hit some bumps, especially against Stanford this season. Brett Hundley, not the Heisman type of season people thought he was going to get. But, K-State might be able to pull this one out. But it all depends on just what type of attitude does UCLA have. Are they just going to be kind of lackadaisical, we're not supposed to be in this bowl game, we're supposed to be in the Rose Bowl type of thing? Or are they going to say, you know what, let's prove something, let's beat K-State, and let's do it? But honestly, I think K-State will take this one.
All right. Folks here are definitely excited for that one. The Peach Bowl is finally back. TCU hopes to take out their frustration on the tough Ole Miss Rebels. For the Horned Frogs, they could taste a spot in the playoffs. But of course, Ohio State squeaked past them in the last week. Will TCU show them some laziness, or will they try to prove a statement to the country?
UCLA really, they are the face of controversy right now in college football. They really, to be honest, I think Ohio State earned it, but they were number 3 in the college football playoff, and all of a sudden, they get bumped back to number 5, so they could not make it. Ohio State made it, and really, they're just on the outside looking in right now. But TCU is just not that type of football team. They're not going to show laziness, and they're probably going to win this one rather big. I think Trayvon Boykin's going to have a huge game, both with the pass game and on the ground.
Okay. Later that day will be the Fiesta Bowl between the Boise State and Arizona. Can Arizona rebound after that awful showing in the Pac-12 championship?
Absolutely. Boise State, 10-2, but they're in the Mountain West. Best team they played is Colorado State. Arizona, has played Oregon, they've played UCLA, they've played USC, they've played all these great Pac-12 teams. Boise State just doesn't have the strength of schedule to even be in this bowl game. I don't understand why they are. Maybe I just don't like Boise State. But honestly, I think Arizona will win this one. It will be a little bit closer than people think. I'd probably say 31-21, but Arizona will pull out rather quickly.
Never count out the underdog. Of course, the best game of the day will be the Orange Bowl between Mississippi State Bulldogs and the stingy Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Both teams have something to prove, but which team has the most on the line?
Mississippi State. I mean, they were #1 in the nation. They were on every magazine possible, but losing a heartbreaker to Alabama. Now, I honestly think this will be the biggest upset of bowl season. I think Georgia Tech will win this one. They showed a lot of poise, especially in the ACC championship against Florida State. And Mississippi State just kind of lackadaisical. They know that they should be in the national championship right now. And honestly, Georgia Tech will win this one by a field goal.
By a field goal. On New Year's Day, it's the Outback Bowl between Auburn and Wisconsin. Melvin Gordon is just going to run all over them, right?
Definitely. A Heisman finalist, second, I believe he was second in the standings for the Heisman. And he's probably the most impressive running back I've ever seen, with the exclusion of Adrian Peterson. But he is really just one heck of a running back, and he will just completely run all over them. And Wisconsin will win because of that. Not because of their pass game. Probably worst pass game I've ever seen. But once you have Melvin Gordon, you're going to win a lot of ball games.
All right. Here's a good one. The Cotton Bowl Classic between Michigan State and Baylor. Two very different teams. Will this game be a shootout?
Not exactly a shootout. I mean, Michigan State's offense it's pretty good, but it's a very slow. The key to this game is to get the ball out of Baylor's hands. Whoever wins the possession game is going to win the football game. But Baylor with Bryce Petty, they're going to win this one. It will be extremely close. Not exactly high scoring, probably 38-34 maybe. It's not going to be in the 50s like it was with Baylor and TCU. Michigan State is a very disciplined team, and they're going to try and beat Baylor pretty well.
Defense wins games. And of course, then it'll be the college football playoff. Boomer, just give us an overall prediction of this playoff. Who will win?
I love this college football playoff. It's Oregon versus Florida State and Ohio State versus Alabama. You can't ask for a better playoff than that. First, it will be Florida State versus Oregon, and Oregon's they're going to obliterate Florida State. Yay. They are hungry for a national title.
Oregon.
Haven't won one in their history. They have Marcus Mariota. Everything is set up. They have everything now. And Florida State, really? Jameis Winston struggled. 24 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. Oregon's going to crush them. And I really hope they do. I mean, the Ducks are hungry for a title, and the Noles are just the appetizer. And Alabama versus Ohio State, really whoever wins that game will have the least amount of players carried out on stretchers. It's going to be a smash-mouth type of game. But Alabama will win it. Ohio State with their third-string quarterback in now, with J.T. Barrett being out for the season. Ohio State's faced a lot of adversity, but they won't be able to beat Alabama. They've been there, done that. Bama's going to win.
Hold tight. All right, there you have it. And we're out of time for this week's episode of Whammy Sports. For BBS TV Cable Channel 21, I'm Juan, the Manimal Maldonado.
And I'm Justin, Boomer Sabata. Thank you for tuning into this very special episode. Good night, good luck, go sports, and happy holidays.
Go Ducks.
Roll Tide.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, everybody!